So hello, my name is Rummel. I'm with SCAD District, the online newspaper for SCAD students.
Hi.
The first question I'd like to ask is, with the show's anthology format, a lot of the recurring cast comes back as new characters, but now you two are jumping on board with these people that have had 2 seasons under their belt already.
Yeah.
What is it like joining this group that, even though it's a brand new story, already have that sort of chemistry together?
It's pretty fun because we're joining like the super NBA players of acting, and we can learn a whole bunch of stuff from them. It's like going to Yale.
I didn't feel like I hadn't been there for the other seasons. I felt like I'd been there the whole time. All my scenes are with Regina. I felt like I'd known her my entire life, and I didn't feel like I was stepping into something where I was an outsider. I felt from day one that I had been there the whole time.
It's very much so like a family.
Yeah.
On the set of American
It was
Crime.
super welcoming.
Very.
Yeah.
That's great. So the show tackling such heavy subjects such as race, sexuality, and in this season, immigration. What is it like telling these type of stories, especially with, the current political climate of the whole world?
Well, although we were in production before any of what's happening right now was happening, it's always good to be able to put a light on issues that are occurring, and you can start thinking differently about it or thinking more about it and not brush it away because you're like, it's right in front of you. Think about this. This is really happening. You can't turn a blind eye. It's on American Crime ABC. Okay.
I feel like I feel really lucky that we get to tell these stories. I think people do things different ways when things are happening politically, and some people are marching, some people write, some people, I don't know, we act. I feel like that's our way of contributing and putting something out there, and I feel like it's more important now than ever, and I feel really lucky that we get to
be part of it and do what we can.
I feel like that's how we can contribute to making a difference right now.
And along the same vein, are there any sort of personal topics that you would like to shed a light on from your standpoint, like something you believe people should...
From our lives?
Or
anything we know about?
Yeah, anything you know of.
For season 4, for example, is that what
exactly.
you're asking?
What would you want season 4 to be?
Oh, Lord. I take care of an autistic young woman. She's 25. She's French. Her name is Chloe, and I work with her every day that I'm not acting. And it's an amazing world. Those kids are amazing, and not a lot of people know a lot about autism. So I see what her parents go through. I see what the other parents go through. I see what the community is trying to do to help them out and be there for them as much as possible. She goes to acting classes. She goes to singing classes. They put on show. So I don't know. I feel like it's something that we don't talk about enough, because you might see a kid that you think's having a fit in the supermarket. Maybe he's not having a fit. Maybe the kid has something happening that he doesn't know how to deal with. So yeah, autism is something that's really, really close to my heart, and also teen pregnancy, but on the side of the child. You know how we always talk about how hard it is for a teen mom? People never talk about how hard it is for the child of the teen mom being raised by a child, So those 2 things I'm interested in. What about you, girl?
That I can't give away certain things, so I need to move away from that quickly before I say anything silly. Actually, human trafficking and teen trafficking is always something I've kind of paid close attention to and researched about, but then in this I got to play someone who is trafficked. But I think what was interesting about this is that my character thinks it's her choice. So she's manipulated. She doesn't even know she's manipulated until she thinks that she's a prostitute because that's how she chooses to live her life. And I think that was a completely different take, because sometimes you think, oh, they're trafficked, they're victims, they don't want this. But I'm so brainwashed that I think that it's my decision. And so that human trafficking was one of the things that I really wanted to bring to light, and I got to do that this season. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. You don't know. She hasn't read the whole.
No, because
I didn't read anyone else's. I didn't read anyone
Because
else's.
I'm still a fan, so I stopped reading everybody else's.
I don't read
stuff.
everyone else's either.
I wanted to watch it just like I would a regular person.
That's what I did too. So I have no idea what happens to
Stop,
you.
yes.
So then we
No,
have
no.
a lot of things to look forward to.
You have so many things to look forward to. It's going to be amazing.
Wow.
You have so much to look forward to.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome, thank you.
Hi, my name's Rummel. I'm with SCAD District, the online newspaper for SCAD. First off, I want to ask y'all, as actors, what is it like coming back with new characters to have to portray and new, overall new stories to tell every single season? What is it like from your perspective?
It's a fresh thing. I think it's a fresh thing. It's for an actor. It's just, I mean, that's what you look at. I would say just you're always interested and want to be excited about something. And sometimes when you just come, it's a series that goes on and on and on. Like, it might get boring, but I believe coming off season after season, fresh, new ideas, new just images. Everything it's fresh, so it's exciting for me.
Yeah, it keeps you on your toes, because I've done shows where you come back to the same character over and over and over again, and even if the plot is changing, it's like you feel like you've, rightly or not, you feel like you've got it. You feel like you've done your work. You feel like it's like the character's a part of you and it becomes second nature in a way, which creates some laziness, But when you're not just playing a different character, but as John likes to do, playing a completely different character, like a radically different character, you can't really sit on your laurels.
Now, in the vein of that question, do you ever wish you could go back to a previous character and be like, oh man, I really want to know what they're doing right now?
Never once do I wish could I go back to a previous character. Whenever I finish with, I don't know about you, whenever I'm done with role, I'm like, I'm happy to be done with this. Yeah. I don't want to know what happens to these people. I don't. I'm good.
I mean, especially with American Crime, you just the role is sometimes so heavy, and it's just, it takes a lot to sometimes do that. And for me, it's just like, all right, like, moving on. Let's move on.
Take a second to breathe.
Yeah.
That's great. And well, speaking of the heavy nature of the show, y'all tackle some really, really hot topics such as sexuality, and like this season with immigration. What do you think it's like, given the current political climate, to be a show and to be trying to shed some light on this subject?
It's good to be talking about it, to be doing entertainment / storytelling where you could actually have an engaging conversation, because a lot of times you watch whether it's film and television, and it's just like boom, it just takes you there, you're entertained, happy smiles, and then that's it. There's you just enjoyed it for the moment. And for me, it's just to be able to see a fan or to be at the airport and to have a conversation about my show. It's really a good thing.
And also, it's I think if you look at least when I look at the world right now, it seems like what so much of the problem is that people, it's hard to look at other people who look different than you or sound different from you or come from a different place from you and see them as being people in the same way that you are, and people as full and as big as you are. And I think that's at the root of a lot of the malevolence in the world right now. And American Crime, whether it's touching on an issue specifically or not, I think its mission statement is that it takes people from so many different backgrounds who look so different, who sound so different, who act so different, and says as its central thesis, these people are all people.
If you had one piece of advice to SCAD students who are trying to break into the industry right now, what would you tell them, or what's something that's been told you that really got you going?
It's hard. The unfortunate thing is that there's a big part of it that's, I'm sure there's students at SCAD studying a lot of different things in a lot of different fields, but for acting at least, there's a lot of it is luck. I know a lot of actors who are much better than I am, who've done all the right things, who put in all the work and just can't get that one job, or when they do, it's not the job that they wanted, or But I think that there's, for me, putting that aside, because that's not something you can control, the most salient lesson I've tried to learn is that you always have to be prepared as much as you can, and also try and learn what it means to be prepared.
Evolving, I believe we all evolve in life, and to just be open to that. Like, what was good for me 3 years ago was not the same thing that's good for me today. What spoke to me in that role 3 years ago was not the same thing that's gonna speak to me in this role today. So just be prepared for that, and I think it's that hard work and that preparation, and nothing happens on the day of. Everything happens in the preparation.
That's great. Thank you so much.